Okay, so you might have heard that Apple have just done a press conference, the WWDC, something they do every year. It's for more developers and stuff. They don't really do major releases at these times, but they have this year. I'll be covering some of the other stuff that they released on the Mac side of things, but one thing that really kind of hit it off was Vision Pro.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro, the era of spatial computing.
So at £3,500, you probably think that this is going to be a seriously rich experience, but it's probably not going to be what you think it's going to be. Although some stuff is going to be involved, like games and stuff like that, that is not really what this headset's about. So very unlike the Oculus kind of Quest and stuff like that, you don't even have controllers, which I'll explain shortly. But let's get the basics out of the way. So as I just said, there's no controllers, but this is a standalone computer. There's mini 4K screens for each eye, and I believe the pixel density is 64 times that of an iPhone. It's completely made up of glass and aluminium, apart from the strap portion, which is kind of a meshy kind of elasticy kind of thing, which looks pretty cool. Now, although you don't have controllers, you do have a variety of sensors to make up for this. You've got 2 forward-facing cameras, 2 downward, 2 sideways. You've got 2 that are looking at your face and inside the goggles themselves. Then you've got an array of LiDAR and infrared sensing equipment on both the external and the internal. Now you might think, why would you need so many cameras on the inside? And that's because your eyes become the pointer. Yes, I know it sounds strange, but once you engage the goggles, anything that you look at then is highlighted. All you've got to do is kind of do this, like this pinching motion, and that will actually be your clicker. Scrolling motions as well, they're just as simple with a little flick of the wrist. And it's going to be a bit weird at first. I know, it's going to be a bit weird, but we get used to these things, right? I mean, look at how we had the AirPods, everyone was walking around and they had AirPods hanging out. Everyone's like, yeah, it looks weird, the little stalk without the wire. Then you had people with the Apple Watches and stuff like that. That looked a bit weird at first. So is this going to become the new norm, where we don't have any controllers or anything like that, and we're kind of interacting with these kind of devices is a mesh between what's real and what's virtual? And I like the idea of that. Looking around the device, you can see that it's taken a lot of cues from a lot of different devices that they've already got out there. You've got the digital crown that comes from the Apple Watch. You've got the retina kind of displays and stuff that you've seen on iPhones and iPads. And then you've got the processing power of a Mac itself with the M2 chip. Talking about the M2 chip, there's 2 different chips inside this device. The first being the M2 chip that we just explained. That's going to deal with all the processing side of things, just like your computer would. But we have a new chip there that's also included in this device called the R1 chip. We're dealing with completely new inputs here, and the sensor array is dealing with that. So you've got all these cameras and LiDAR being dealt with, and it needs to work out all of that and process all of that before it can deal with things like a computer usually would do. So the R1 chip is exactly that. It's going to deal with all the sensors, make sense of everything that's going on, and then deliver that to the M2 chip. Now, like I say, this is a standalone computer. You're going to be able to use it and use apps and stuff just as you usually would do. Putting the headset on for the first time, you're going to notice that you still can see around the room that you're in, and you're kind of going to have these panes of information that you're going to be able to interact with. You can even look at your Mac computer. Within a couple of seconds, it will take the screen from your Mac and place it in one of these pane areas in which you can move around, adjust size, and just have around you. Another great feature of this is the immersion wheel. I can see that being a really great feature for Netflix and stuff like that. Now, on top of Netflix and Prime and all them kind of things that you're going to be able to do, there was a thing that Disney was showcasing, and that it looks pretty good. That looks like it's going to be loads of fun. I don't really want to talk too much about that yet because that's still in development, and we're going to see a lot more of that and see how that works later on down the line. I'm going to take you through some of the features that I find actually really really interesting. First one being 3D videos. You've got a button on the top left of the headset. You press this and you can take pictures or record video, which is great, right? All right, maybe you might look a bit of a sausage, but we'll probably all get used to that pretty soon, like we did with AirPods and Apple Watches. But the great thing about this is that it does it in 3D. Now, Apple have said that you can't really see this in its entirety on a 2D screen, but apparently there's some real nice depth to them videos and them photos, and you're gonna actually almost feel like you was there when you watch them back in the headset. And I really wouldn't have a problem with a guy walking around a wedding or something like that with them on, if you can relive them moments in 3D. That won't bother me one little bit. FaceTime's another feature.
Hi. Hey.
Hi, did you receive the deck?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Oh, great.
So, what did you think?
FaceTime looks and sounds amazing in Apple Vision Pro. You see people life-size, and with spatial audio, you hear them as if they're right in front of you. So conversation is more natural, and collaborating becomes even easier. Because you wear Apple Vision Pro and your eyes are covered, we engineered a system that uses advanced machine learning to represent you realistically when you're in FaceTime. Your persona dynamically reflects your face and hand movements.
I'm doing well, thanks.
So when you're chatting,
How's Berlin?
people see your eyes, hands, and true expressions.
So one feature that I'm actually really excited to see actually is the eyes. So if you're deeply immersed in some content or something like that, it will kind of do that Siri kind of coloured overlay over your eyes and stuff. So when people are looking at you, they're going to know that you're fully immersed in some content. Having said that though, if you approach that person, they are going to see you in an overlay on the inside of their display. So they're going to see you, and then if they look at you while this is happening, then the eyes will become visible on the front of the display. How crazy is that? One thing that threw me a little bit was the battery pack. Yeah, of course, you're going to take a lot of weight away if you put the battery behind you. It's supposed to go in your, like your back pocket or something, the battery pack. I was thinking, how are you going to have another cable for charging and stuff like that? But there's a USB port on that battery pack, and that will plug into your outlet. So yeah, it's a pricey thing. I am going to get my hands on one as soon as I can, but obviously being over in the UK, they've said that they're going to release this early next year, probably be mid-year next year before we actually get hands on with this device. It might not have the same gaming capabilities as a Quest or a Hive or something like that. This is going to be something else. This is a different category. This might even be the first iteration of what replaces our iPhones in many years to come. You know, like just a small pair of specs or something that kind of has an overlay on your whole life when batteries get better and all them kind of things. Imagine that. It's also important to note that this isn't a perfect product as it is now. It's first generation. It's probably as good as they could get it with today's technology. And that's a good start, because you need something out there so you can tinker with it, so you've got the data to change things later down the line. So guys, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Even drop me a little comment if you like. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Vision Pro is a wonderful way to play your favorite games.
Curry against Smart.
Just connect your controller and play on a massive screen with incredible audio.
Low delivery, great ball inside.
A stunning new way to use the apps we love. A powerful way to relive our memories. A profound new way to be together. And a magical way to be immersed in entertainment. The era of spatial computing is here. This is Apple Vision Pro.